Hi everyone, welcome back to another episode of the Football Philosophy Podcast. With me today is Lombe Phantom AFC, and today we're talking about the Champions League quarter-finals. Mate, how was it for you? Because I really enjoyed that.
Same here. I thoroughly enjoyed both legs of pretty much each game, apart from the Porto, perhaps, and Chelsea, and maybe the Liverpool game. But they
Yeah.
all around, those were proper Champions League ties, in my opinion. Proper.
Yeah. With a proper game last night with Bayern Munich and PSG. That was mad, like Neymar, absolutely fantastic. And then today we've seen the City Dortmund game. That was just on another level as well. Now, if we just talk a little bit about the City Dortmund game, now this is finally Pep Guardiola making it to a Champions League final with Man City. Like that is a chip off his shoulder. Finally, like he's done it. Now, can they go all the way and win it?
Ooh, I think they can go all the way and win it because I watched some of their football today and it's okay. To be fair, it's that the defense of Dortmund is what let them down. It's what's let them down all season, and it let them down again today. That Emre Can penalty just sucked the finish to tie basically.
What was it? Was it actually a penalty? If you think about it.
Oh, I'd say
because it hits his head first and then his arm. Like,
yeah, I if I was referee, I wouldn't have given it as a penalty because I think it's harsh. But then, if you go by the letter of the law, if you look at his hand, it was in an unnatural position. I don't. You could give it either way, but in my opinion, if I was going to give a percentage, I'd say 60% not a penalty, 40% penalty. I was going to put a slider on it.
Yeah, with them, Chelsea and City, I thought they had the easiest ties, but obviously it didn't turn out to be so easy for City at the end of the day because for the first game last week, the game at the Etihad, they got really lucky with that one because Dortmund should have had a goal. They should have had a penalty as well. That I thought they had the luck of the referees' finals. And this is something that we talked about before, like me and you. I was saying to you, like, to win the Champions League, it doesn't matter how good you are. If you don't have the luck on your side for these little decisions, penalties going your way, goals not being allowed. If you don't have those lucky moments, you don't go all the way and win it. City finally have that. Looking at this City team now, there's a bit of a relief there. Like, finally, we got through the quarterfinal stage because they went out in the last three stages, or in the last 3 years at the quarterfinal stage. And now they got there. They have to do it now. Like, surely, this is their year.
They can do it, but at the same time, it's crazy as it may seem. It might be a tougher challenge in the next match and then the final. Like that Dortmund match, okay, to be fair, Dortmund really turned up, especially for that first half and the last game. They really tried, for all the strength that they have without Sancho, I think they missed him a bit. But they really tried and they can do it, but I think PSG should be because Dortmund did play well. It's going to be a slightly tougher test. But I have to say, watching that game as well, watching that Man City game, I have to pick out these players are absolutely fantastic at the moment. De Bruyne, oh my goodness, this guy is an incredible footballer. I must say, he's bloody brilliant. He's
the best player in the Premier League. Surely the best player.
He's unbelievable. He's absolutely. Although this City team is disgusting. This football team, but De Bruyne is the cherry on the icing, and then Gundogan is the second player. Where I'm like, the way he's playing at the moment, he's really. I think he's back to. He's absolutely at his peak now. Gundogan has literally taken over David Silva's role. Like, he has been the guy, and since he's come back in, he's literally said that, you know what? When De Bruyne was injured, he took over that role. And now that De Bruyne is back in, he said, okay, I'll play the David Silva role. But he's really stepped up to the plate, Gundogan, and so has Stones. And that's been a platform for their season through them two. It's giving them an extra layer. And then Foden as well. He was quiet. Like this is the thing about Foden that impresses me. He was quiet for the first half of the game. You know what I mean? Just doing what's necessary. Yeah. He's Foden is a deadly player as well. I think the keeper should have probably had a stronger hand to save his goal. But still, like Foden is really as the game went on, he became more dangerous. He's just makes all the right decisions when he's twisting and turning. No one can get the ball off of him. He's so cool. He's so cool and in like he doesn't seem flustered. This kid. It's like those three: De Bruyne, Gundogan, and Foden, and Mahrez as well. But I mean, like that Man City attack is ridiculous. And De Bruyne sometimes. It must be crazy playing the City team because they attack. De Bruyne, I'm seeing sometimes he's at the edge of the box, he's by the halfway line. Sometimes he's the deepest midfielder, and he's through the middle. Like the guy hasn't got pace or anything like devastating pace, but he's still dribbling past people, shifting it, escaping them. His intelligence is on another level, and the power as well of De Bruyne's underrated facet of you. He looks like a really powerful athlete, you know. But
you know what? He's got that intelligence about him that he can do whatever he wants on the pitch. And even though it's so predictable what he's doing, you can see if you study his game, he does the same movement, the same things repetitively, so good. And if you keep doing the same thing again and again, you perfect it. Now he has perfected it, but also his teammates understand exactly what he's going to do before he even does it. So you see him certain times trying to make an assist or a pass. Before the ball even gets to where he needs it to be, his team is already waiting there. And the defenders and goalkeepers, they can't work out what he's doing. Now, that intelligence, not many people have it. Now, I can see this guy going to be a coach, you know, when he retires. But there was an interesting story I read about him in The Athletic. And apparently, when he was signing his contract, he went to City. Before he went to City, he approached a database company and he asked them like to give him his stats, like his assists, what he does for this team, how valuable he is, and what team he would best suit if he were to leave City. Now they came up with this conclusion that it's a fascinating reading if you read it, that this is the best team for him, and his value to this team. It's basically like, even though we can see with on our own eyes how valuable he is, he still needed a database company to make this case for him. And now he approaches City without his agent because he doesn't have an agent anymore. He just he made the deal with themselves by himself, 420,000 a week. That's it, done. It's that simple. Here's what I can do for you. And it just made me think, like, how many players can actually do that? How many players can come up with that kind of research, approach a team and see, like, without even having the agent next to them, and just manage to sort out the deal for the biggest deal for any Premier League player at the moment. It's crazy.
That's fantastic. I didn't even know that at all. But that is bloody brilliant. But imagine being Pep Guardiola and just having this guy. He's so professional. He's not in the news or anything. He's not doing anything nonsense. Like, he's fully in the game. He's focused. You can see it. He's not here to play any stupid games or be funny or smile unnecessary. He's a very like militant professional. But he's
absolutely.
What a player, man! What a player! Like, he's one of these players that I'm starting to get that feeling where I'm like, I just enjoy watching him. Like, it's a pleasure. Although, to be fair, you're a Manchester United fan. It must be kind of irritating.
No, you know what? Yeah, it's just one of those guys that's just a nice guy. Like, you know, like, how can I say this? Like, when he's talking about United and the rivalry between City and United, like, he's not, and he doesn't go about it in a really, like, annoying way. Do you see what I mean? Like, whereas before, like, let's say Gary Neville, when he was at United, he used to annoy the Liverpool fans, the City fans, Arsenal fans. But I don't get that same feeling from De Bruyne. Maybe it's different generational, but we're gonna get
No,
to
it's just a professional. It's just a professional
he's
attitude. I remember Evra used to do
absolutely
that to Arsenal. Oh my God, Evra. Oh my gosh, man.
yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, we're gonna get to Jude Bellingham and Phil Foden in a bit, but let's look into the game that happened yesterday. PSG versus Bayern Munich. For me, that was a game that didn't make sense a lot of the times. And what
Yeah.
I find so interesting about that game was you look at the chances that PSG had. Neymar, 2 chances missed. Third chance cleared off the line by Boateng. Di Maria was excellent. Mbappe was excellent. They were the best players on the pitch, but yet Choupo-Moting is the one that gets the goal. What did you make of it all? Because I thought it was fascinating.
That what you just said there sums up the game yesterday. Like world class players all over the Choupo-Moting is the last person you're looking for to score or make an impact in that game. And he nearly did it. He scored. Neymar hit the post, like you say, or last ditch tackles. There was unbelievable counter attacks. I think Mbappe roofed an offside goal as well in the last couple of minutes. That game from PSG versus Bayern, I must say, yeah, both like I posted a tweet saying both teams had some key players missing. I thought PSG were going to struggle without Marquinhos and Verratti, but then to be fair, Bayern also lacked Gnabry, Goretzka, and Lewandowski. Like there was a Lewandowski-shaped hole in that game for both legs. You'd have scored at least 3 goals between these two ties with the chances that Bayern created. But just putting that to the side, the spectacle that it was at that level between Bayern and PSG was fascinating game. I hope I can get to watch both legs again. That is very rare I can say that, but yeah. Neymar was magical.
I think sorry. When you said there, like you hope to see the same legs again. That might be the next round because City and City and PSG are playing next, and Bayern and City play kind of a similar way. And I can imagine PSG just sitting back and trying to hit them back on the counter.
Yeah, that's a good point. It's gonna be more of a chess match between PSG and Bayern. Actually, yeah, it's gonna be more of a chess match because Bayern they don't care. They just come for you and they just go for it. They created whatever 31 chances in the first leg and then however many chances in the second leg. They just come for you and they just come and they just come and keep coming. Yeah. But then Man City are going to be a bit more patient. Oh, they're going to break them down. And then when the opening presents itself, it's like, bang, that's Man City. But then during all that patience, that Man City have the ball and they're working the opening. PSG have to maintain the compactness just like Dortmund. They have to do what Dortmund did better and then counter, like they have to be ruthless that they did in the first leg against Bayern. That was their saving grace. I may have said it in the last pod when we were predicting the Champions League games that PSG sometimes they miss chances in it. They play brilliant football, but they miss chances. In the first leg,
we've seen it last night. Yeah,
exactly. You saw it last night, but in the first leg, they did exactly what I was hoping they would do: finish your chances, especially against Bayern, who you're gonna get few and far between. But yeah. If PSG are in that sort of mode, against Man City, then it's gonna be a really fascinating game because it could even be a tougher test for City than
absolutely,
Dortmund.
Yeah, exactly, and they have that quality, that clinical side to them. Now, for PSG, what they really have to do now is just look after Neymar and Mbappe as much as you can, because if one of them gets injured, especially Mbappe. Oh, I can't see them going through. I cannot see them going through. Yeah, whereas City, they've got 2 teams there. Like they've got 2 11s that they can put out and still win that game. I'm fascinated to see them come up against each other and how Pochettino is going to approach this game is going to be interesting for me. Like, we've seen him knocking them out with Tottenham like 2-3 years ago in the quarterfinals of the that famous Aguero last minute goal that got disallowed. Was it Aguero or Sterling?
Sterling, I think it was. I remember Sterling going nuts with his little lizard hands and celebrating.
Was it Sterling?
Yeah, 100%.
Yeah. You know what?
I was celebrating that goal. Tottenham out. I was celebrating that goal like a madman. I was caught in it. I was riding it.
Yeah. Now, for me, I was with Tottenham that game. So the last thing I want to see is City winning the Champions League. But in all seriousness, if PSG were to win this Champions League now, and you look at what's going on with Tottenham and what a mess of a club they are right now under Mourinho, how damaging is that for Daniel Levy's judgment, or because he, at the end of the day, he hired Mourinho to replace Pochettino, and thinking like Mourinho was going to take him to the next level. You look at the mess they are now, and you look at how Pochettino is doing with PSG, it's like day and night.
If you're gonna probably look at it from Mr. Levi's point of view, you're probably gonna think, well, the time came to an end from Pochettino organically anyway, so we couldn't keep him on, and it was about finding the next manager after Pochettino, and Mourinho was available, so we took it. So he might look at it from that point of view, but then at the same time, this is just my Arsenal hat on. I don't care about Spurs. I don't care about them. But on a serious note, as well, I must say that if Man City go and win this Champions League, I will spit on the ground. I will spit blood on the ground. Like two clubs, have come in with their rich owners and basically won the Champions League before Arsenal, Chelsea and Man City. That would absolutely make me sick. Yeah. But at the same time, I'd rather them than actually. I don't even know what to say. This Champions League has been good, so whoever wins this Champions League is probably going to deserve it.
If we just get to the other game that happened tonight, Liverpool, Real Madrid, dead game. I have to say, absolutely dead. Like nothing was going on in that game. It was pretty much solved because of the first leg. But with that being said, Liverpool had so many chances, and Thiago again didn't start. Like, what's that about? Like, this is why you buy him.
Yeah, true. I think, but just when you're putting Milner in the midfield, that's when you know you're trying to go for experience. They just went for, I think, to Liverpool and to Klopp, when he puts Milner on a pitch in a big game, depending on where he puts him, it shows you how he's thinking about the game, because Milner's like his most trusted general if he needs a spot filled. So it's like the fact that he stuck Milner in midfield today showed that he wanted experience. He wanted somebody he could rely on, basically.
Yeah.
And absolutely. I think that's not a slight on Thiago, because Thiago hasn't been able to thrive like he might if things were working the way they should. So maybe Thiago's not ready yet. But at the same time, this is the thing now. Bayern being knocked out of this competition has made such a curveball to this tournament now. It's made it even more unpredictable than it could have been, because it's like Liverpool, they're having a terrible season. I can't believe what's happened to them. But yeah, they've suffered without their defenders. Big time. I think it's also a mix of their legs have been worn down by the way they play. I think that has affected Liverpool a bit. But I mean, having no centre backs has absolutely finished it. They don't look like they're playing with confidence or any security mentally. So I feel that with Liverpool.
Yeah. No, I agree with you. The way they played over the last 3-4 years, just 100 miles per hour. Like, come on, like, you can't keep that up. And the fourth year is when it really gets to you. Now, you look at Thiago, and I'm just thinking, like, this is why you buy him. These kind of games, like, this is when you have to play him. But also, with that being said, they missed so many chances. Like Salah should have scored, Alexander-Arnold, Wijnaldum. But at the end of the day, now they're knocked out of the Champions League, and they are fifth or sixth in the league now. I think they have Tottenham and Leicester City and West Ham ahead of them still, United and City as well. But imagine how damaging this is for Liverpool if they don't get to Champions League football next season.
Yeah, that is crazy in my head. Liverpool with no Champions League football. Even if they just imagine Liverpool players in Europa, that would be like, whoa, like Thiago Alcantara, Europa League, Van Dijk, Fabinho, Salah. Wow, that would be crazy. Like, going to Kazakhstan and all these places in the group stages. That would be
yeah, it would be
nice. That would be nice to see, mate. I love that.
Yeah, but is that? Yeah, they're gonna have to sell a few players because the COVID market is gonna hit them a lot. There's no ticket money from the fans in the stadium because there's no fans allowed anyway. So that Champions League money that was gonna come in for them is not gonna be there. So they're gonna be forced to sell Salah, Mane. What's going on with Mane, by the way? Like this season, he's just off it completely.
I'm not sure what's going on with the whole front line. What's going on with Firmino? I don't know. Like, is Firmino? Is this just Firmino? Is this just the player that he's always been? And because the attack is not thriving, he's not thriving. Is it Salah? Is his attitude has changed from what it was at the very beginning? I don't know whether that's because of natural evolution as well, because of the things that they've achieved and how the standards have gone up. I don't know if his head is half in Madrid or whatnot. I wonder if he was playing against a team that he's going to go to. And if he doesn't go to Real Madrid, where does he go?
Yeah,
like
exactly. Who's going to buy him? Like, I'm sure they would want at least 80 million for him. Like, because that's the kind of, you're buying a world-class player here.
With that said, what if Bayern just decide, hey, Sané, you're kind of peeing us off, Salah. Done. Yeah. Like, nice.
But who's going to buy Sané, though? Think about it. It's they're going to have to take, 30 million cut from what they paid for him? Like, because that's the kind of money that we're talking about for Sané at the moment. He's not looking good. But I think, because the thing with Bayern is Hansi Flick didn't really want Sané at the end of the day. I think the board, one of the guys at the board really wanted to sign him. 60 million was there for them. So they thought, like, this is a German national guy, so he plays so well for Germany, especially with Gnabry. Like they played like two up top, so they thought that they could replicate that partnership again at Bayern. But if we talk about Real Madrid now, like for them to actually make it to a Champions League semi-final this season without having any you look at their front line, apart from Benzema, who's actually a top-level world-class player in there, nobody. And for them to actually make it to Champions League semi-final again, how underrated is Zidane? Because this is all about him now. It's not about Ronaldo anymore.
Yeah, it is. I in a way, I think this because of everything that you've just said, it suits Real Madrid. They can play on the counter like they've always done, even when Ronaldo and the Bales and the stuff were there. Like they play on the counter, they can thrive off of that. And once they get Ramos back in, to be fair, like that midfield of Modric, Kroos, and Casemiro is like in a Champions League game, once that whistle blows for 90 minutes, even though their form is terrible, they can just, like I keep saying it, they can just switch on okay, we're in the Champions League now, let's do the business. They can switch it on. And they even today they sapped the game out. Casemiro was just a general today in the midfield. Well, Liverpool missed their chances, but if they get Ramos back, they can play on the counter, which is exactly what Real Madrid want. As long as they don't concede, as long as they don't have to start chasing games, right? They will grow stronger in this competition because right now their neck's probably up. Like, oi. One last Champions League for the go? Modric? Casemiro? Like, why not? Like,
yeah, why not? Why not? Absolutely. So that brings me now to the next point. They're up against Chelsea. And it's interesting because Chelsea are going to sit back now. So Real Madrid will have most of the control of the ball. And if you let Toni Kroos just make these passes, like, the game against Liverpool, or Vinicius run at Alexander-Arnold, or like someone like James, like now for PSG, for Chelsea, they can't let them just keep the ball and just defend. But that's what they're good at in Chelsea. Like we've seen with Tuchel, like they like to defend compact in a compact way. Like can you see a scenario where PSG? No, can you see a scenario where Chelsea would just let them have the ball and just nick it off them and basically manage to get through that way?
Yeah, I think it will be the other way around. Because
really, yeah.
to my eye, honestly, to my eye, whenever I watch Chelsea, they like to keep the ball now on the Tuchel and suck the life out of opposition. And then once you start leaving those gaps, they start playing and they start scoring. Like that's the way Chelsea are going to play, in my opinion. Chelsea are going to be the ones keeping the ball. Real Madrid are going to have the experience and be like, yeah, go on and break us down. If you can, fair enough. If not, we're going to have our opportunities on the counter. Fascinating battle, especially with the way both teams play. Chelsea have got their front line is scoring goals, but what would you say about Chelsea's front line? They're threatening, but they're not threatening because if you take Mount out of there, they haven't got a consistent level of threat where it's like maybe Mount and Pulisic, to be fair. They cause chaos. But it's
and Kai Havertz looking good right now. Like, I think he's got that confidence about him. So you can't expect Havertz to be your Drogba, your Diego Costa, because he's not. But what he is they can build this team around him, especially if you put someone like Mount and Pulisic just running off him. Just keep Werner away from this team for the moment being, because he's nowhere near good enough to be starting for them. Just bring him on as a sub when he's he's got more energy about him and he can run at defenders and they're getting tired, especially if Ramos is not there for Real Madrid. That's a key thing for Real Madrid. If Ramos or Sergio Ramos or Varane are missing, that is potentially more damaging against Chelsea than it would be against Liverpool. I don't know if that makes sense, because Liverpool have a better forward line, but there's no confidence about them. Whereas with Chelsea, we're seeing them grow every game. They're getting better and better, apart from that glitch moment that they had against West Brom. But they're looking good now. Who can you see making it to the final out of these two, Real Madrid or Chelsea?
Wow, what a question that is. What's harder to call, PSG versus Man City or Chelsea versus Real Madrid like this? It's the two perfect teams that could have played. The two perfect guys. They could have been finals themselves.
Yeah, no, you're right. It's the two perfect teams in the final. Like, you would want PSG or City. PSG and City in the final. I agree with you, but I don't know. Yeah, this part of me that feels it doesn't matter who's in the final, Real Madrid or Chelsea. At the end of the day, the winner is going to come from PSG or City. That's just the way I see it.
I don't. Do you know what fact has been picking up my brain? Yeah, I agree. I agree with you. I think PSG can. I think PSG are looking really dangerous. Mbappe is looking very electric this year. Neymar looks like he's at his peak right now. He's mature. He's playing experience and with quality, and he's in good shape. Neymar and Mbappe are unreal at the moment, and PSG they probably got that chip on their shoulder from last season. The final, they nearly tasted it. But then I'm just thinking about it. At the bottom line is, if Bayern had Lewandowski, they would have conceded some more goals, because the game stayed open by the fact that Bayern failed to take their chances. So if PSG come up against, even now, they're gonna come up against Man City, like you said it yourself, they've got two teams. If they lose De Bruyne, they that's a big blow to lose, but then they could switch it up. We've got tons of options there. They could go Sterling, Gundogan might step up again. Foden is like flipping better than Nasri at this point. I don't. What can I say about City? Like if that heat is coming down on PSG, do they have it in them to do what they did against Bayern? Because I'm looking at that front three of Bayern.
No, I agree with you. I agree with you 100%. I can see City being in the final, but what I'm saying is the winner is going to come out of these two, City or PSG. It doesn't matter who is it, Real Madrid or Chelsea. Do you see what I mean? Like, because there's glaring weaknesses for both Chelsea and Real Madrid. Whereas if I look at City, they're a complete team. It's done. And PSG, there are weaknesses there, but their forward line is world class. It's another level, elite level.
Do you know, this is gonna be crazy because if I'm just give me 2 minutes, right? Because if I'm gonna break down there's 4 teams left now, yeah. Man City, they are the most complete team, but they've also got this chip on the shoulder about not getting past a certain stage in the Champions League. But now they've gotten past that hurdle, even though it was against Dortmund. But they've gotten past there. Now they're in their history, they're in completely unknown territory. But they've got a team that you look at it and you think, yeah, you're ready to go all the way to the final. You got PSG, who have also got the chip on the shoulder from last season, right? Are they a better team than last season? Probably. Like, Neymar and Mbappe are looking fantastic at the moment. You got Keylor Navas is doing good in goal. The defense is, but they've got 2 sides to them because in the French league, PSG you don't know what's going to come out by week to week. But then in the Champions League, they've got their heads together, right? Maybe it's because of the experience from last year, but they've got their heads together. So that's PSG. Chelsea are completely unknown because they've got Tuchel now. They've got the £200 million window there, and we still all look at Chelsea like we don't know what this team is yet, and they're just gaining momentum and strength, and you don't know whether they're getting stronger, they're right at their level, or they've got weaknesses which you can exploit, which nobody's seen yet. You don't know. Real Madrid, you probably look at them and say what you said, like they've lost a couple of stars and they don't have Eden Hazard, they've got only Benzema up front, but then they've got the experience. If you're in that Real Madrid dressing room when you're Modric and Kroos and Ramos and all those guys, you're probably looking at it like, yeah, guys, we can win this. We can win this. We can take this to the final. We can do what's necessary. So it's like you've got 4 teams there that are the spectacle before the games are played is crazy at the moment. Who's going to win this Champions League? Oh, my goodness.
It's hard
what
to
do you
call
think,
because, you know what, I completely agree with you. I think you summarized it perfectly there. Like the way you talked about Chelsea, Real Madrid, PSG, and who's the other team that's left in the competition?
Real Madrid, PSG, Man City.
And Man City, and Man City as well. So you summarized it perfectly, and I agree with you. It's hard to call and hard to see who's going to win because when we did the Champions League preview show on the podcast, that time I predicted that Bayern would win the Champions League, go all the way and win it. But unforeseen circumstances that has happened. You know, Bayern, Lewandowski getting injured, Gnabry, Goretzka, 3 key players they're missing. But now I look at this year, and it's hard to call because the team that knocked them out is PSG, and I'm just thinking like the winner is gonna come from one of these 2 teams. But then you're right, because Chelsea are unpredictable. They are unknown. We don't know. Like you said, they're gaining the momentum, and we might even have a situation where 2012 all over again happens for them, where that team should never have won the Champions League for them. But the team that played against United in 2008 has actually had better quality players than the team that actually won the Champions League in 2012. So this tournament, or the Champions League trophy as it is, it's hard to predict. And tournament football, like I said before, is not just about the quality, it's about the luck. So if Chelsea make it through to the final. I can see them being of a much bigger threat than Real Madrid to either PSG or City. But if I just change the topic a little bit now, yeah, like the City are after the quadruple, and in their way are Chelsea in the FA Cup. Now, if Chelsea win that game in the FA Cup, that is a huge blow for them. They're just going to play on Saturday. That is a huge blow to them because their hopes of winning the quadruple is going to be dealt with a huge blow if Chelsea beat them. Imagine the confidence that Chelsea are going to gain from that game, and then take that to the Champions League and to the rest of the Premier League.
Oh my God! Yeah. That's another point. Do you know what's another point to add to all of that? You just summarized it again perfectly. By the way, like if that Chelsea game, if Chelsea gain confidence from winning that game, and then now imagine Pep is gonna be fired up to get revenge. Yeah, or imagine you'd want revenge for getting knocked out of the FA Cup by Chelsea like that. But there's another curveball. Tuchel was the manager of that PSG side that went to the final last year. And he's at Chelsea.
That is true, yes.
It's all going mad. It's all madness.
He started the Champions League campaign with PSG, got them through to the last 16. They still sacked him. And then he goes to Chelsea. Then imagine it taking two different teams into two Champions League finals in two seasons in a row. Like I don't know who's done it before. Imagine if he had won it last season and then this season he wins it with Chelsea. It's like, come on, man, it's crazy.
And imagine a PSG versus Chelsea Champions League final. Tuchel for Chelsea, Pochettino for PSG.
Oh my days! I didn't even think about that.
It's mad.
That is actually a scenario. That is a scenario that could actually happen. Wow.
It's crazy. I'm telling you, the way it's shaping up now, what the spectacles that we have right now, it could be madness.
There you go. It's done. That is the final right there.
Exactly. What can I say? And then what's the other final possibility? Real Madrid, Pep against Zidane. Oh my days. Pep versus Zidane. For months. Oh my God, this is too much madness.
No. You know what? You sold me on this one. I want to see Tuchel against Chelsea, Tuchel against PSG, because they sacked this guy. He started the Champions League campaign for them, and then he comes up against them in the final. Like, it's written in the stars, man. This is crazy if this was to happen. Like,
and it would take. And on top of that, it would take it for PSG to have gotten to the final means they would have beaten Man City. So Pochettino would have done it again against Man City, and it would have been an epic road to the final. And then if Tuchel as well, the other side, to beat Zidane after beating Liverpool and just coming out of nowhere after Lampard and just going to the Champions League final with Chelsea, it's just Chelsea versus PSG would be a crazy final. Crazy. It's all Champions League, man.
That is the Champions League football for you, man. You know what? I'm excited. I cannot wait to see what's gonna come. Do you have any final points that you want to make, Lombe?
Oh, what can I even say? I was gonna try and predict the slide winner. Let me ask the question. Yeah. What's the worst final? Let's try and flip the question. This is even possible. What's the worst final we could get?
Oh, the worst final that we could get. PSG Real Madrid. Pochettino Zidane. Yeah, there's no storyline there. Like, it's just another Champions League final, just normal. Real Madrid making it again. Zidane doing his magic, coming up against a French team, maybe, just getting the win. If Real Madrid make it to the final, they never lose finals, that team. So
yeah,
I can see them winning it. And I wouldn't even like that, because as much as I don't want to see PSG winning the Champions League or City winning it, because of the investment, the amount of ridiculous money that's been put in those teams, I still don't want to see Real Madrid winning it for the 14th time. Do you see what I mean? Like, it's ridiculous. Like, how dare you guys win it 14 times, when all the teams that's left in the Champions League only have what combined one Champions League title. Like,
yeah, that's true. Hey, that's true. But there you go. That's why they're the curveball. That's why they're the curveball, man. You just look at them and you're just like, they've got veterans. Like, how many Champions League titles in Real Madrid in this team?
Oh, this team
it's probably about four.
Three. He's won them three, but he also won with Ancelotti when he was the assistant manager in 2014.
Yeah, Ramos is the timeline. He's like Wolverine.
Yeah, so four.
X-Men.
Four.
Yeah, he's
yeah.
How many Champions Leagues has Ramos won? Then you'll know everything.
Yeah, four Champions League. So it's crazy. Like huge clubs with big names don't even have Champions Leagues. Like, it's ridiculous. But yeah, you know what? Whoever is, yeah, I like your question because that could be a dark final. You see what I mean? Yeah, it's whoever that we get in the final. I'm actually more excited about the semi-final stage than the final itself. Do you see what I mean? Like, I want to see PSG, City, Real Madrid, Chelsea. Like, I can't wait for it, man. I cannot wait for it. I'm looking forward to that.
Hey, are both of those games on the same day as well?
No, I hope not.
That's a Tuesday and a Wednesday, isn't it? Surely, like, don't make pick between those games, man. Wow, even had difficulties tonight.
you kept flipping at the start, like from Chelsea, from City.
The first 10 minutes of both games was mayhem. I just couldn't. And I missed Jude Bellingham's goal. You know.
Same here, yeah. I missed that goal, yeah. It was a good goal, yeah. I wanted us to just talk about Foden and Jude Bellingham, but we're gonna get into that another time because I think these two are just generational talents. Talent. Overused word. There you go again, using it again.
Generational talents.
Yeah,
add them to Saka, Greenwood, and all of these generational talents.
No. Greenwood
coming home.
Yeah, you know what? Yeah, Southgate. If you don't win with this team, if you don't play attractive football, you have blood in your hands with this team, bro. You have blood in your hands. We're coming for you, bro. Like, this is. You better play attacking football with this team, bro. Like, I'm making myself clear. Like, you have to, man. You have to. You cannot be playing Mourinho boy here.
In it, you got Grealish, you got Mount, you got Foden, you got Sancho, you got Rashford, you got Kane. I want to see systematic football. I don't want to see us getting outplayed by anyone. Actually, to be okay, England will England. But I still stand by that. Like, if we had that, I just want to see team spirit from England, man. I want to see England. Come on, England FC.
Do you remember when Bale said that we've got more team spirit than England? Do you remember when he said that?
I agree. I look at Scotland, Wales, Ireland. All those players would die on the pitch. They would die on the pitch for their country. They just don't have the quality. If England had that blood, I call it, this is something that I always say to the guys, if you've got blood in the mouth, like if you got the blood in the mouth, mate, in the gums, you get what I'm saying? Have that attitude. Go somewhere.
That's it, man. All right, man. That's it. That's all we've got time for today. And we've thoroughly enjoyed the Champions League, man. I really hope that they don't change the format, what's been suggested in the media and all of that. I hope they keep it this way. The knockout stages are phenomenal. And it was a great spectacle, like you said, Lombe. Really enjoyed it. And we've got more episodes to come out tomorrow. We're going to be talking about, is Mourinho finished? So keep an eye on that, guys. And that's all we've got time for today.
I'll be tuning in for that topic right there. Is Mourinho finished? Yeah. Oh, lovely. Time to be called my manager specialist in failure. Oh, I have a field day with that topic.
I shall see you tomorrow. Yeah, that's all we got time for today. Take care, guys.
Cheers, Abdi. Thoroughly enjoyed it.